Today's discussion is about quantum leaping. What can we do to quantum leap into a new reality? One of the things that we can do is understand that the past, you can change your past. Let's start here. People don't talk about that. You can't change your past. How can you change your past? By changing the story you told yourself about what happened. All right? I'll give you a personal example. I had in the past, I would tell the story of because I've struggled with addiction or because I am an immigrant, I have fallen behind. And then I recently realized how these stories were still creating my future. They still had some sort of hold on me. And then I realized how the past and the future are connected, and at any given moment, I can change it. So, what are the news stories that are true? Number one, I chose to learn about addiction. I chose to immerse myself in addiction because I knew I was going to be the one who would transmute it in my family. I was going to break the chains of addiction in my family. And so I chose to take on the role to immerse myself in it, learn, transmute it, and then finish it off for my family so that my family no longer will, for generations and generations to come, the curse has been broken, or whatever you want to call it. I chose to be an immigrant because I know that I needed the experience of being an immigrant to help people. I am ultimately a healer, and that's why I am so empathetic and kind and always in understanding people to levels most people cannot. So now I have a superpower. So that period was me honing my skills, honing my powers. So now it's sharpened and nothing can move me. So this is the new story. Did I lie? I did not lie. But those two stories that I just told you, the one that I had before versus now, the woman, whoever is interlinked, is not in the same timeline. It's completely in different timeline. So I want you to look at these past stories that you have held to be, or that you have known to be true, and write new stories for them. Only if you're interested in quantum leaping. If you're not interested, stick with those. You'll still be fine. But if you are interested in jumping around in timelines, I highly suggest you do that. Now let's talk about what else you can do to quantum leap. You want to start paying attention to the smallest of things in your environment. And when I say smallest of things, I want you to look at positioning of products as well. For example, if you have a water bottle that normally sits on the right side of the table, you move it. Now the new position of that bottle will be a different place. This applies to everything else. So if you had the habit of looking at your phone before you sleep, now all of a sudden you've changed. You read a book before you sleep. It doesn't have to be that extreme, because I know for a lot of people, moving from doom scrolling to reading a book before you sleep and not touching, it can be anything else. The idea is to change something that was so ingrained with how you habitually move in the world and disrupt it. That disruption creates new pathways in your mind, new ways of thinking, new ways of doing. You're bypassing, hence quantum leaping. Another important thing is how you wake up. All right? If anything else, focus on this one. Focus on how you wake up. If normally when you wake up, maybe there is a thought that comes in, all right? This is what I want you to do before you fall asleep. You tell yourself that when you wake up, imagine how you're gonna wake up the night before, all right? Imagine the thoughts that you're gonna have when you're gonna wake up, all right? And then it will take time, but you train yourself to do that. You're gonna come back and you're gonna tell me how your life has done the craziest shift. Once you listen to all these videos and all these exercises that I'm giving you, you're gonna be unrecognizable. So let's focus on these things for this week, all right? Pick a routine that you're gonna imagine in your mind for your coming morning, right? Pick top narratives of your lives that you're sure of, that, for example, if someone said to you, oh, that didn't happen, that would piss you off. Pick something that is so emotionally intertwined with what you believe. That's the one that you need to be focusing on. And then, yes, the last thing I want to talk about actually is when you're growing something. When we're quantum leaping, we're no longer focusing on the numbers. We're not doing it. We're not looking at the YouTube numbers, TikTok numbers, whatever, these little validation, getting compliments from people, getting none of that. We do none of that. That is not where we focus. We train ourselves. This is training. And I talked about energetic training in my prior video. Please check it out. It will completely help you shift your life. We're not looking at numbers. What we're looking at is satisfaction. That is how we gauge if we're in the right direction or not. We do something, are we satisfied? An internal satisfaction. All right? Of course, obvious, if you're a creator and your video goes viral, you're gonna feel freaking satisfied, right? Because you're just getting these dopamine hits from just people giving you validation. But the tricky thing about emotionally relying on getting satisfaction from external things is, what if it dips and you have 0 likes and no one cares, or everyone's telling you your shit is just it's horrible? Then what? Right? So we can't depend on these validation indicators from outside. It's very dangerous, and you can never create something great from that. What will happen is you create something, it might go good, and then you don't have the sustenance to carry that on forever if need be. And then so you start something, you quit, start something, you quit. So this is how you're going to end that cycle. We're going to train ourselves to get satisfaction internally, or use the gauge of satisfaction internally, and not be fazed when you receive compliments, comments, likes, a video goes viral, blah. Who cares? Everything feels the same once you get it. These are the core things that I want you to focus on. I highly recommend taking a look at some of the exercises that I've mentioned in prior videos, and I'm not just saying that so you can. It will actually freaking help you out. We'll talk tomorrow. I'm posting a video every day.